Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Out of the Box. I'm G.
And I'm A.
And today we are going to be touching bases on why the world is very upset with LA creators, more specifically about the huge protests that are going on this week, but also in general about how LA creators have kind of been silent. And it's really upsetting to see, especially as content creators who have been kind of vocalizing where we stand politically and what side we're on, but just in general being human beings about this current situation we're in as a country. And if you have a platform and you're not using it, why not? That's like a big question. So let's kind of get into it. The world is really upset about LA and about the huge amounts of protests that are going on in California, let alone we have had worldwide or nationwide protests in all 50 states, and it's really hard to see creators that we sometimes know that we're mutual friends with too online that do not participate just because one, they're too scared to vocalize about it, or two, they're scared that their jobs or brand deals are going to be taken away from them, and that's why they're not speaking up. So what do you have to say with the fact that LA creators are silent going about their day, not really prioritizing or even highlighting what is going on in their city right now?
I honestly think it's wrong, first of all. If you have the platform, why not use it for good, right? If you are we're on the side of against Trump and his presidency and everything he stands for. We are also against Israel. We're pro-Palestine. If you didn't know that already, you can look through all of our social media accounts, what we've liked, what we've posted, what we talk about sometimes too. But we stand with Palestine and we stand against Trump. Mm-hmm. That's our main point here. So if you also are on that side, why are we not using our platforms more to highlight the negative things that are happening to our country and those around us? Yeah. Even though it may not affect you directly, it still affects people. And I think it shows a lot about your character if you don't stand up or talk about things that are wrong. I honestly don't think it should be a political thing. I think it's more a moral thing.
It's morals. It's just being a human being.
Yeah.
You're seeing people, and more specifically, LA right now, it's the fact that they are doing protests, and Trump has already called for troops and Marines to go and handle his business because he's scared that it's an upset right now in LA. And obviously Governor Newsom is also a part of that hit list for Trump. He's not backing down to him. He's setting an example for what other states should be doing, from Washington down to California. That entire West Coast is blue. And we all agree that Newsom is doing things that we all should be doing. And we should all be pitching in and also vocalizing against Trump a lot more. But what is happening in LA right now specifically is what I just said. The troops are being sent in there. They're using a lot of unnecessary forces against these citizens that have just been protesting peacefully. Obviously, there are some that want to take the protest into their own hands and maybe get up in some of the police faces, but that's not really how you should protest. Obviously, this is more peaceful, but the way that Trump is just calling straight for the troops, for Marines to come in, I believe 700 Marines were called into action against LA protesters, and it's like a war zone right now in LA, and yet you hear nothing. None of the LA creators have posted videos about it. Nobody is talking about what is happening in their own city. Instead, they are choosing to go with their regular content, i.e. daily life, lifestyle, makeup routines, grocery hauls, kind of not the stuff that people want to see.
I just don't get how, if you live in a really big city, things like this are happening and you're just watching and you don't say anything, you don't mention anything. And when it comes to content creating, or if you have a platform, again, I feel like we have a duty and a job to speak up because we can reach more people. We can influence people. And if you're choosing not to do that, especially with what's going on, it says a lot about you. And I can see why some fans or some people of those content creators are getting upset.
It's not just the fans, though. I think it's just morally everybody knows LA is the hotspot for creators. If you are a creator and you are making content, you have enough time to go and make a video about what is happening in your own city, letting people know what is happening, to the deportations of your neighborhoods. Like, you're not out there telling or influencing people or making content that is related to what is mostly at the most upfront attention of everybody. Like, everybody's scared that their neighbor is being deported. Everyone's scared to lose their children. Their mothers are being deported. Like, no one is talking about that except, oh, hey, let's go to Air One, which is super expensive one. And during this economy too, that just is also more like center focused on yourself, versus here are some of the list of the protests that are going on in our city. Here are things that you can do to support LA right now. Here is how to protest peacefully. You don't have to be on the same side, whether you're Republican or Democratic. This is just the fact that it's coming down to human rights.
Yeah.
And if you watch the videos that are happening right now on social media and you are able to scroll away and have zero emotion towards those, you need to self-reflect.
You are part of the problem.
Yeah.
I see so many videos of what's happening in Gaza at the moment, all of the deportations, and you truly, if you stay on one of the videos, you watch it all the way through and you listen to these people talk and their experience with what's happening, you should feel some sort of way. And what's scary is how our government is making jokes about it.
Yeah.
And encouraging other people to follow and do the same thing and make memes and cosplay as ICE agents and doing all of this when it really it should never be like this.
Yeah.
I know deportations happened during the Biden and Kamala administration, and we haven't seen upset like this ever. There's other ways to go about deportations and doing whatever you want as the president, but the way that they're doing it is not the right way whatsoever. I don't think deporting people and putting them in cages is right. I don't think separating families, little children from their parents is right. I don't think cutting off tons of money to Medicare and Medicaid is right. Leaving veterans without benefits or helping them when they need it the most, that's not right. Watching a genocide happen and right.
Watching it happen and aiding Israel.
Yeah.
Is not right.
And I know it feels like sometimes when you are an American citizen and you don't stand for those things, but your president does, it feels like, yeah, I can't do anything. And it might feel like that, but talking about it, educating more people about what's really going on is how you can help.
And getting out there to protest as well, whether you are posting, reposting all of the protest videos on your page because you physically can't go out there to protest, still shows your support. And as of right now, it's more about numbers and people showing up to show that everybody is against this. Like, it should never have happened in the first place, let alone the fact that he cheated and got away with it, let alone we have a felon in office and felons themselves can't even vote. Make that make sense. And so the fact that, like I said, just tying it back together, you're in LA as creators, you have made it your job to content create, to be entertainment, but also during times of need and necessary and trauma right now, you are supposed to be creating content that is supposed to spread the word on what is happening. And if you stay silent, it's not going to be spread around as much as it could be. And let alone May and I's content, yes, day to day is very much something for your entertainment, but we still make content when we go to these protests. I know as of June 14th, so this Saturday, is another nationwide protest called No King or whatever. And the last protest May and I were a part of was the Hands Off protest. That was a huge outcome. It was very peaceful. I really enjoyed the fact that a lot of the protesters that we were around were of the older generation.
That's what shocked me about that one, and I'm interested to see about what this protest brings, because yes, I think it's up to us to change the world because we're going to be given it, or it's just in our laps and we have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Which we shouldn't have to deal with it, but we are going to have to deal with it. But it's really nice and motivating and refreshing to see the older generation starting to come around and realizing just how bad it is.
Yeah.
I also want to emphasize there's a very big difference between MAGA and Republican. Yeah. You can be conservative and believe what you believe, but genuinely, MAGA is a cult. They're not
so much wrong.
They're not Republicans. They're not conservatives. That's a cult.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of people who once stood with Trump and was part of MAGA. And I don't know what happened or whatever, but they finally realized that that's not what a Republican is. That's not what conservatives stand for. It's very different.
Yeah.
And so if you are one of those people, I encourage you to educate yourself. Look more into the media, into interviews and things with your Congress and Senate and what they're saying. It's not hard to follow what's actually happening because the Senate and governors are doing their best to follow the law, whereas you have a president who gives zero shits about law.
Yeah.
And wants to do anything he wants whenever he wants, with whoever he wants.
He claims himself as king.
Yeah.
We are not like that here in the US. We don't have a king or queen. We have a president. And clearly, right now, it's just not going the way that it should be in order or by law. He's going around every single law. Every single law. He has so many loopholes he can go through, which I don't get how we have loopholes. But okay.
And Congress is not doing their job.
Congress isn't doing their job. Some are, and some are doing a lot. It's just not enough. And that is why it's so important to speak out and use your platform. So when we go to these protests, you will see videos of May and I out there showing you what our city is doing. Yes, we can't show you what LA is doing, but we can show you through reposts, through stories, through resources. That's how you can share, and that's how you can help. And so if you are watching this video and you feel like you cannot do anything, or you're a smaller creator who doesn't have a platform to share stuff, no matter if you have one follower or thousands of followers, at least you are trying to participate in history.
And the only way to make change is to spread the word.
And to be that change.
Yeah. And for those creators who may come across this and know that you have stayed silent, you're hurting more than helping. And if there's anything that we can say or do to encourage you guys as well to speak more about what's happening, keep posting. Go to your protests. Most of these protests are very calm, peaceful. It's the cops, it's the Marines, it's the troops that are making it not peaceful. So I encourage you to go out and protest or do what you can to help spread the word about what's going on, because it's what's right.
Yeah.
It's the right thing to do. I don't care about if you're a Republican. I don't care if you're a Democrat. It comes down to morals and basic human rights. What do you think humans deserve? And it's very showing when you don't say anything, because if you have a platform, all your fans or those who watch you daily think that, one, you don't care, two, you're so out of touch with life, and three, you're supporting the wrong side. And I say the wrong side because it is the wrong side. You look at all the facts, you look at what's going on, it's the wrong side. They're doing the wrong thing. So I encourage you, go out, help your community, and educate those who maybe don't know what's going on as much, or who are relying on you to give them information about what's happening in your own city.
Yeah. It's just important to speak up, and I know it's really scary, especially as content creators. You have brand deals, and brands don't like to be political because it's bad or it's good. So I understand that part and being scared that maybe your livelihood or income might be affected by it. But at this point in time, it is so bad that you just have to put that away and put what is important is our future. The world of the United States, the future of your children. Do it for yourself and do it for your future and your generation to come, because it's just gonna get worse if it doesn't stop now. And we need everybody to be doing their job, whether that is a small step forward or you're in Congress or you're a governor. You are doing a job, no matter how small it is. So keep using your voice. You have the freedom of speech. That is why a lot of people are able to make these type of videos.
And who knows, freedom of speech, it's looking like we're gonna get it taken away. So use it while you can.
Exactly. And also, I just want to end this podcast knowing we might have very different sides and very different views. But again, we want to keep this as a discussion. If you have something to say, make sure you're adding it in the comments. And obviously, keep it nice, keep it cordial. We are not meant to start an argument. We are more just pointing out certain facts, and if you don't think they're facts, then you clearly have not read on what is going on.
So, and these are our opinions. This is what we truly believe in. These are our morals. It's not right to kill millions and millions of people. It is not right to separate children, family, whatever it may be. The way that it's going right now and how they decided to do it, it's not right. There's ways to be able to deport someone and not make them feel like an animal.
Yeah.
In the end, they try to come into the US to make a better life for themselves and their families. If you can't see that, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know why you can't see that.
Yeah.
No immigrant has tried to steal your job or steal your money. Like, they're trying to make a living just like you are trying to make a living.
Yeah.
Did they come in illegally? Yes. Should they have gone through paperwork and documentation? Yes. But they shouldn't have to feel like animals or to be abused in the way that they're being abused right now.
Or to be uprooted and leaving their children in the US because they have to go back home. And if you're born here, you are a US citizen, so their children are automatically safe here.
There's tons and tons of families that have been affected by this and will be affected by this. Yeah. There are lots of people who have already left the country because they are scared of what would happen or will happen if they don't leave. But again, we use our platform to try to educate more, influence more people. We don't want to hide in the shadows and not tell you guys where we stand because it's not right. We have the platform to do it, so we are going to do it.
Exactly.
Will it affect promotions? Will it affect our work? Will it affect family relationships? Probably. Do we care? No, because we know truthfully between Gia and I, it's what's right to do. So with that, I think that's all we have to say.
Exactly.
For this podcast.
It's just how humans are being treated.
Yeah.
And that is pretty much the end of this video. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Obviously, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And like always, keep on listening, keep on loving, and we will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.